Alright, so you want to check before you remove any of this stuff to make sure that it's empty. There's only a little bit in there. So, I mean, I'm good to go to take this apart. I don't know if it had a leak somewhere, or if it leaked down. It's kind of hard to say. I didn't see anything that was any kind of damage. I mean, this here is bent just a little bit, but there's a little bit of play in them, so you can adjust them out. So, I'm going to work on getting everything out of the way. As I had stated, the plan is to remove I'm going to undo these lines, this here, and then I'm going to get this bracket out of the way and take everything off, and then I'll pull this AC stuff off out of the way. And then I can get in here and assemble it and get this here installed, or actually cut out, you know what I mean? So we need some 10s and some 8s and that's interesting. It's an extremely short bolt. Okay, now 18 here. Yeah, I thought I had this. Okay, we need 8. Pop this off. Tight one. As with anything, I always try to put the bolts back in so you don't lose them. I'll have to get a little flathead, now I can pry that up. Okay, look at that. Alright, this forward, slide down off. We can tuck these over to the side, out of the way. Just like that. Already there. Alright, there's those. Now, there's an 18 here and an 18 here, and then you can either take this one out or these two 15s. I think I can hit those with an air gun or a power gun, just pull those right out. And then these ones here, I might be able to just hit with the ratchet here. So I'm going to get this stuff off. I'll get this removed and this removed down to the point where we're here, and then I'll go over what I'm removing to be able to get. All right, guys, ladies, gentlemen, people of the viewers, I got a little excited here, and everything just seemed to be coming off pretty nice. And I just was obviously, I mean, I was working at notching this stuff back. I got this front piece cut off. I got halfway back here out of the lower pan. Like I said, everything's moved out of the way. I do have to straighten this end out here a little bit, which will be a whole lot easier once I get, you know, this right here off. So, I mean, you know, I got to grind this spot weld, and then up through here, grind these, and then get these couple off. There's a couple here on the bottom that we're going to have to get off. But, I mean, you know, this is my first time using this. For this, I have to say that I am thoroughly impressed. So, it's doing what I want. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's a little different than, you know, air power. You know, you run out of air, you get out of power. This actually won't, you know what I mean? It shuts down so it doesn't jump out of your hands. But you can see some of that, hopefully, moving it around on the tripod here. But, yeah. So, basically, just got to finish getting some of this off. And then I'll have to clean up some of these other welds. I did do some of them across the front here. And get everything prepped, and then we'll dry fit the replacement core support onto here, and hopefully it goes on with no problems. My goodness. All right. So maybe I got a little excited. I started I started getting the core support fitted up for reinstallation. So basically there was only one thing when I did this. Now back in here there's a little piece that comes off of this that actually, this rail piece comes up, and then this piece that comes across here actually ties into it, and it like sandwiches this little tiny flat corner back here. So I just trimmed that off even right there, and then basically we got it fitting on. You kind of have to play with it a little bit from side to side, and then you can, you know, check your measurements on where your bolts are going to line up as far as where your fender is. You can kind of look at, it's as simple as this. I mean, somebody ran spray paint across here, but when you reinstall your headlight next time, you can see where it goes. There's spots like that on here from overspray from when it was painted. So you kind of just line it up with them too. From side to side, we got this edge down here is really nice, okay? Up across the top here came out. This right through here is really good. Now we did have some issues over here. This end, let's get down in here. This end right here, this was actually folded up pretty good. You know, I'm just doing what I can with that. I'm going to get it down in here. This is something you're not going to see from the outside. Not only that, it gets this fender tab right here. Goes on here. Line that up. And we can weld that on too. Alright. So, I have some little 1/4 inch self-tapping bits. You can see one come through here. I started screwing this into place in spots where I cannot get to with some clamps to get this lined up here a little bit. It looks like this this piece here is actually pushed back some, so I'll have to probably, you know, get this better on the top, and then I can move that around and then get this reclamped and actually get a better fit right there. We got our lower part here. That just needs clamped on some down here. And then that's ready to go. And you know what I mean? It's like everything's just everything will fall right into place where it needs to be. A little tack here, a little, you know, a little screw here. Get a clamp, get everything lined up. Make sure all your lines are good on your fenders. And here you can shut the hood, get it down. And then you can, once you finally get happy with where it's at, you can work on starting to tack weld stuff. And then work your way the whole way around, and then go back through and re-weld all of the spot welds where they're at. No matter what we're doing, we're not on a frame rack. We don't have laser levels. You do have some tape measures, but most of the time, if you're going across here and you're lining this up with all of your spots and everything is going together and lining up where it needs to be, the whole thing is you're going to get it close. And that's basic body repair and what tools and knowledge is available to you to do this at home. I guess that would be the best way to say that. Hopefully it made sense. But I'm gonna get this lined up, and we'll show you where we're at, and we'll show you some of the stuff that we do when we're welding, and get this video finished up and get this car finished up. This is the most hardest part of the entire thing, getting everything lined up. On these cars, there's not that much play here in these to get your adjustment. The way this was hit with pushing this, when it pushes back on the hood, it actually bends this back here a little bit. Like I said, I did replace the hinges, but I mean, right now, everything is pretty much like clamped in place. If you can see, there's stuff there, there's stuff here. This is the only piece. I got to get this pushed over a little bit here before I tack that in. It's got to come over right here and right here some. But the latch is in, the bottom part's clamped, our hood shuts. I don't know if you can see here. I'll try to move this just a little bit. Now, the challenging part with this is, like I said, this really isn't bolted on, so you kind of got to hold it. When you pull this out, you can look down in here when you have your lines, and you have to look and make sure that you can get the bolt through that hole down there. And it's the same thing. Push this welder back a little bit. It's the same thing on this side over here. Alright, bring this in just a little bit. And, you know, we actually have a pretty good line down through here. I'm not sure what you can see in the camera. Hopefully it's enough. But we're pretty much at the spot of. I'll pop the hood now. How about that? We're pretty much at the spot of starting to weld. So I just kind of wanted to show that there. So, I mean, I'm happy with the way this is, so I'm probably going to start tacking here down in the bottom, in the front, and then we'll work our way across. I'm no professional welder by any means, but I did get me a piece of the old metal here, so I'm going to hit it with a couple practice shots from the welder, and you know, I guess try to tune this thing in a little bit since it's been a while, and then I'll get in here and you know, basically just start welding it together. Try not to get it too thick so there's less to grind down, and we'll have a completed core support here. So once I figure this out, we'll do that. Okay, well, I don't know about you, but I think I got it set up pretty good. It's wanting to burn through here. I just got to pull down my speed a little bit, but it's ready to go. So I gotta grind a little spot, or maybe I'll just stick here on this corner over here, get a good ground. Yeah. So that's part of the fun there. I'm going to grind off a little edge down here, and then I'll get a good ground, and then we'll tack a couple of these and we'll show you what we got. The joys of welding here. So I mean, the best thing to do when you're doing this is to do this with help, and then you can have somebody put your fires out. But